Have you ever wondered what it would be like to start your own podcast? Well, it really is easy these days, and it's all thanks to a place called Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's by Spotify, and it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain a little bit more in detail. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. You literally just log in and press a button on your phone, and you can record. And if the sound is good enough, hey, you have yourself an episode that you can share with your friends and your fans. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. There's so many places for people to listen to you. It's pretty convenient. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. It's easy to use, it's easy to access, and yeah, take it from me and Taiwanica. We were able to launch this with an ease of a button. So if you are interested in doing this as well, I recommend you to download the Anchor app or go to Anchor's website. That is anchor.fm. That is ANCHOR.FM. And you can go there to get started.
Hey guys, welcome to Taiwanica. This is the intro to our new podcast that we are starting. My name is Eric.
I'm Anita.
And Anita, what is the reason for having this podcast?
I think cultures are very funny, especially between two different countries. Like you and me, even though we both speak Chinese and English, but when I moved to a new country, there was a huge cultural shock. I'm pretty sure that's the same for you.
Absolutely. And when I know we live in USA right now, but we used to live in Taiwan together.
Yeah.
And after living in both countries, we have kind of seen this exposure of these very different things between our countries and found them very interesting. And I felt like, well, the ones I saw in Taiwan were very different from the America. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, of course. It's like, it's very different in a very funny way, like interesting way. So that's why we're here to share all the audience and listeners who are interested in the same topic.
That's right. So if you're interested in learning more about the differences between Taiwan and the USA, well, then you've come to the right podcast. Thank you for listening with us, and we really hope that you enjoy what we have to offer.
And also one more information about us, that we are online teachers on a platform called Amazing Talker.
That's right. We are tutors on this platform, and we are always looking for more students to help. And whether it's speaking, listening, writing, you name it, we're here for you.
So if you're interested, just Google our name on Amazing Talker. You can find us there, or leave us the message.
Or you can just check the link down below.
Yeah. See you soon.
Okay, thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Anita.
Are you good at driving?
Driving?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good at driving a car.
What other things you can drive?
Oh, I can drive a van, a truck, a scooter, but I don't want to drive scooters anymore. But that's a story story for another time. Why do you ask?
Well, there are some crazy ass drivers.
Crazy ass drivers, huh?
In Taiwan.
In Taiwan?
Yeah.
Like who?
Like, our lovely grandma and grandfathers.
Okay, so why are they so special?
I think they are, let's just put it this way, they are careless.
Careless?
Yeah.
So what are you saying? Are you saying when they drive, they drive all over the road?
Basically, they drive all over the road and without paying too much attention on the traffic lights or traffic rules or other people.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It's that bad.
Yeah. Grandma, I love you, but put away your driver's license. Just, don't drive again.
So you're saying these people are like people who should have had their license revoked 20 years ago?
Well, yes.
Okay. So I've seen these in Taiwan. I used to live in Tainan.
Wow.
And when I lived in Tainan, I saw these kind of people everywhere, and I heard people yelling at them, kind of like saying this word "sanbao," and I was like, "Is that the person's name?"
No, it's more like a group of people.
A group of people.
Yes.
So they're like in a biker gang. the sanbao gang. Is that what that is?
Well, they are not really gang. They're just those group of people who drive carelessly or don't care about other people's safety. They just do whatever they want. They are driving just because they wanted to get to a certain place. So for them, following the rule is not that necessary.
So, how do you tell someone is a sanbao and someone who's not? Maybe someone's in an emergency.
Oh, you know what? Sanbao usually drive really slowly.
Oh, they drive slowly?
Yeah, they're most of the time, like 80% of the time, when they're driving either scooter or car, they are looking for something. What are they looking for? I don't know.
Okay.
They're just looking for something.
Looking for something. So
yeah, they were just not paying attention to the road in the front. They're kind of like, look around.
So if you see one of these sanbao and they're looking around, are they about to like make a turn, or like how do you tell?
This is a surprise part. You never tell what they're going to do next.
Oh, really?
So you have to be super aware of those drivers. Like I said, don't follow rules. So most of the time they don't use blinker whatsoever.
Oh, wow. So they're just all over the place.
That's right, Eric.
Kind of like a wild animal in the middle of the street, like
and
a deer looking in the headlights. They're just like, they're shocked and you're just not really sure what they're going to do next.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I remember when I lived in Tainan, I drove a scooter. I drove a Gogoro, and when I was driving, all of a sudden there would just be this very old person just coming from the other side of the road, and it's definitely green light for me, and they're just coming from the other side like it's like no stop sign or anything. They're just like, oh hey, and I'm like honking at them, and I'm like, hey, you need to watch out, like yelling at them in English, and they're just yelling at me, and I think it's Taiwanese. I'm not really sure. I hear some words I hear that my children
like
in school say.
Your mom or...
Yeah, like something mom or something like that. Like go to my mom or like something like
go
that.
Go to your mom.
Oh, I don't know. It's just something really bad, like like something over there. Let's not say it in Chinese.
Yes,
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are very interesting. Not something I've never experienced in the USA.
Yeah, and that's just the thing. I don't know. Maybe because in Taiwan it's really easy to get a driver's license.
Okay.
Like, and to be honest, the traffic rules not that strict.
Okay.
And most of the time.
What do you mean by that?
Well, everybody knows that in the north part of Taiwan, the laws are more strict, more police officer on the road.
Okay.
But the souther you go, the rules are looser.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say I run a red light in Taipei. Am I going to get a ticket?
Yes, you will.
Well, so I definitely... Now, I'm not in Taiwan now, but I mean, when I was in Taiwan, there were times where I definitely ran a red light in Tainan, and nothing ever happened.
Yes, that's
and
what
not
I'm
only
saying.
me, but like I see all these other people doing it all the
it.
time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just following the crowd. Okay, I'm not a bad boy of any kind, but I just did that all the time because I thought that was the rule in Taiwan. But you're saying
what's the rule
that Taiwan that there are no rules. All right,
Okay.
So, in my point of view, it's like, you're right, they're looser, but you're saying in the north it's not like that.
No, like especially in Taipei.
Okay.
It's not easy as getting away with everything in Tainan, for example. Or
So,
Kaohsiung.
are there a lot of sanbao in Taipei?
To be honest, based on my observation, most of the drivers are pretty behaved in Taipei.
They're
like
well
I say,
behaved.
yeah, you're well behaved. And then, because like I say, there are rules that you have to follow. The more police officer, there are more like camera for every intersection. So,
I see.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So, what would happen, just say for example, that a police officer pulls over a sanbao? Like, will the sanbao get a ticket, or will the police officer feel pity for them and just tell them, oh, don't do it again? What do you think would happen?
The second one.
Nothing would happen.
They just like, don't do that. What are you doing? Go talk to tell your son to take you to the place you need to go. They don't talk like this. I'm just,
That's Anita when she talks Taiwanese English.
I'm saying like most of the police officers are really nice. They will just tell you to be careful. Don't do that again. They may check your ID or your driver's license or things like that. If you didn't technically like breaking and other like major crime or like rules,
Like run over a child or something
yes,
like that.
basically they won't do anything to you.
Okay. So basically, sanbao specifically have a golden get out of jail free pass, and everything that they do, as long as it's not too crazy.
It's not just for sanbao. If you're a new driver, for example, you just got your driver's license because you are 18 years old, and the police will also do the same to you. Just in general, yeah, police officers are really nice.
Interesting. That's really interesting. Because in the United States, it's not like that at all. In America, it's well, basically, I'll give you a background of what we have to go through real quick, and that is when we're 15. We don't have to get a permit, and then what a permit means is that we can have someone drive with us, like our mom or dad or even our older brother or sister if they have their driver's license. As long as the person has a driver's license, then they can sit with the 15-year-old learning how to drive. And then when you turn 16, you can take another test, and then you can get your own driver's license. Most people do that. I waited until I was 18, and I drove around, and it was pretty normal to get your driver's license around 18 in the United States. And then with everything else going on with the United States is that there's a lot of people who are older, just like sanbao in the USA. But they don't really break any rules, because the rules in the USA are like Taipei. Super strict everywhere.
Also, it's even more like stricter.
More strict? Yeah, in the United States. Yeah, it's a bit more strict in the USA. Yeah. You can't even consider running a red light. Don't even think about it.
You try.
I mean, even the idea in your head about running a red light could get you a ticket, all right? So you got to be really careful with driving in the United States. I mean, sure, there are other places in the United States where maybe it won't be that big of a deal, but in any city, you have to be super careful. So you learn from a very young age to not mess around. But that's for people who are grown and raised in the USA. But we have a lot of immigrants from many other countries.
Okay.
So now this is a stereotype, but basically our sanbao most of them come from Asian countries.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sorry. It's a stereotype. It's a racial stereotype, but basically a lot of people, if they see, and specifically women, not men, if we see an older like Asian woman, like a grandma, driving, everyone's really careful around her. Because we don't know what she's going to do next.
That's basically the same situation.
Okay, so
it's
so we're really like cautious around this person if we see them like in the parking lot. If you see an Asian lady who's over the age of 50 trying to park their car, no one gets near them. It's just the thing we do. It's just a part of our culture, and we're not trying to hurt her feelings, but what we do,
we just try to protect
ourselves because they are unpredictable. They're like a ticking time bomb. You don't know when they're going to explode. So yeah, that's what happens in the USA.
So like in the USA, there's no crazy driver at all.
Okay. That's we do have some, and so they're more of a younger group, like
Try to be
cool.
Yeah.
You know, like I know in Chinese you call them like pihai.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
so we have some pihai of ourselves.
Okay.
And they're called crazy ass drivers.
The craziest driver.
Yeah, and those crazy ass drivers usually follow under a certain group of people in the United States, either young kids trying to prove themselves, or a group of like white people, usually white guys.
White guys?
Yeah, I know, it's really strange, but like white guys from a specific group, we call them rednecks or hicks. They don't drive scooters. We don't really drive a lot of scooters in the United States, but instead you have these like little sports cars or these really big trucks. Yeah, yeah. So they got these big wheels, you know what these trucks are like, right?
Yeah, just like, wow, okay. It's really big.
Yeah, like they take up half of the road.
Seriously,
right?
I was like, what?
Yeah, and then not only do they take up half the road, they drive really fast in them. So they're very scary to see. And so we have to be careful of those guys because they mean business. Unlike the nice old Asian ladies where they accidentally do it, these guys are trying to drive you off the road.
Scary.
Yeah, so that's the one thing that I guess is the scariest on the road in the United States.
Yeah, I would say like most of the situations are like that. As nothing compares to Taiwan. Also, like you guys don't really have like serious traffic. Like most of the time in Taiwan, you can see a lot of cars on the street, scooters, and just pretty messy. But I think here is maybe one of the reason is you guys don't have scooters.
Oh, right. We don't really have a scooter culture in United States. I mean, yeah, there's some people who drive motorcycles, but usually because the United States is colder than Taiwan, we don't really find it like comfortable to drive them around. And you might see a moped from time to time, but they're not really allowed on the streets, and there's a lot of rules. You actually have to get a different license for driving a motorcycle or a moped in the United States. Is it the same in Taiwan?
First question is, what is the difference between motorcycle and moped?
Oh, okay. Well, a moped is like a scooter in Taiwan. So like if you want to drive any of those classic older little things that you see like 4 or 5 people on one scooter taking their whole family to school or work, that's a scooter. Okay, and then a motorcycle is those like really big ones that go vroom vroom. They're like they have the power behind them, or like a sports one where you see a guy. Yeah, exactly, like a zhongji, where they like drive around highways or like 鸟不生蛋的地方, and so they're just over there like scrolling around. Those are motorcycles.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So about the driver's license, yes, if you want to drive a certain weight or a certain size of the motorcycle, yes, you do have to pass a certain test to get a different kind of license.
That's why you call it like zhongji.
Yeah.
If it's heavy, then you need a different license.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not really like know much about this, but I know there are 2 different kinds. One is like yellow. They have like yellow
license plate,
and the other one is like red, I think.
Oh, and there's like a white one too.
White one is like the in general one.
Okay, because my Gogoro had a white one,
yeah,
so just a scooter,
or
like a driver or a car. So if I have a white plate, that means I can drive a car too.
No.
Oh, it's not. What is it like then?
No. Like in general, like the car has a car driver's license and the scooter normal scooter has a like normal. I think it's under like 125 cc.
Oh, it's based off of cc.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Oh, so your rule is different in Taiwan from the U.S. Okay.
What's the rules in the U.S.?
Oh, we have letters. So
Letters.
yeah. So on the back of the driver's license, it will tell you what letter type car you can drive. For example, a sedan, a normal car anywhere in the world, 4 wheels, 4 doors. That's a C-class car. And a C-class car means basically if you have that on the back of your license, you can drive any normal car. But if I want to drive, for example, a really, really big truck, okay? A truck that has like 18 wheels, like you see in movies, that carries a bunch of stuff across the United States. That's called an 18-wheeler. And I think you need to have a Class G for that. And so if you want to drive that car, you have to take another test.
Gotcha.
So, and then they'll put that onto your license. But you have to take different tests to drive different classes of cars.
Oh, I see. So now I understand. In Taiwan, it's pretty much the same for like the sedan. You say for like the most common that kind of car. You have, I think it's called 普通型.
Okay, like
And
classic style.
Yeah, just like the most common one. And if you wanted to get a job like a trucks driver, like you said, or bus drivers, you gotta have different types of driver's license.
Okay. And in Taiwan, how are the truck drivers? Are they crazy ass drivers?
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Definitely, yes.
Okay. I mean, I've heard lots of crazy bad
really
stories about like, people on scooters dying from those truck drivers. Is it because the truck drivers are bad or the scooter drivers are crazy?
Well, those truck drivers, they are careless, most of them, and they are. There are a lot of reasons. They say they usually work overtime because their pay is really low. So their owner or whatever, even the truck drivers themselves wanting to work longer hours so they can
get more money. Yeah.
Yes. So they usually like get really, really tired when they're driving, so they cannot pay attention to it. Or that's the one major reason. And also because the size of truck and scooter.
Right.
So there will be like
they can't like see the scooters or stuff like that?
Stuff like that.
Okay, wow. It's something that you just never see in the United States because we don't have scooters everywhere. Yeah. But most people are aware that if you're near a big truck, don't be a crazy ass driver near them because they're dangerous.
Yeah, then just another thing is for a scooter, they kind of give you the feeling you can get away with everything, get with the traffic, even though there's a tiny little arrow.
Oh, you're saying scooters?
Yeah, scooter. They kind of give you the feeling, right?
You
like
can,
when you're on it, you just like
you feel like you can just swerve all the way through all the traffic. Yeah, I know. When I drove a scooter, I did the same thing a lot. And
I know everybody. I know.
Yeah, she was driving me. Okay. But so you're saying even sambal are careful around big trucks?
That I do not know.
What do you think they would be like? Just a guess.
I think they will still be like really careless.
Really? So do you think the most common people who get hit or who are hurt by big trucks are sambal?
Ooh, that's a serious question. I don't think I'm able to answer that.
It might be though.
Might be but it's not just either sambal's fault or
the trucker's fault.
Drivers. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting thought, right?
Yeah.
So, I guess in every country, we all kind of need to be careful of the elderly driving, truck drivers driving, and the Pihai driving.
Yeah. Yeah, we also have like Pihai. But Pihai, they cannot afford like cars.
Okay.
So only, again, it's a scooter problem. So basically just be careful with every scooter that you encounter on the road.
Gotcha. So
Taiwan.
Next time I go to Taiwan, I'll be very careful of all of those. And in the United States, just remember if you see a a big truck of any kind, no matter what size they are. Just be careful.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's cool.
Cool. Thank you for sharing about sambal.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic, and thank you too for like so many different inputs for like craziest drivers in America.